What's up there, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good one. And it is our third episode of What's Up Live. And we have some very special, accomplished guests here for us. And we are going to take it away to Young Matt Teen. Hi, I'm Majin and King Ray Jr. And going to see what is going on with these great pro players. They are young pillars of the FGC. So let's take it away. First person is going to be Hi, I'm Majin. So give us a little bit of information about yourself, about your name and your favorite games and your background there.
Well, I go by, of course, a lot of aliases. I have Hey I'm Majin, regular size Majin. That was the main one everybody knew me as. Um, a lot of the OGs also kind of know me as Majin, like 2002. Hey, I'm Reggie. All those different
Mm-hmm.
aliases, but my actual name was like Emmanuel Hughes. I grew up in Queens, New York, Southside Jamaica to be specific. Shout out to all my Queens people. Um, I started playing fighting games when I was about 5 years old. I started off Tekken 3 because that's what me and my sisters mainly grew up on, and that's where like it really got me into learning the series of Tekken specifically. And then down the line, I started learning like every other retro game that I used to have because it was like on my 360 that I owned that I still have. My 360 had all my retro games, my retro fighting games that I have, like Virtual Fighter 2. That's why I picked up Super Turbo as well, King of Fighters 98, Vampire Savior, all that
Mm-hmm.
good stuff I could learn on Xbox. And I started competing. I would say maybe. Well, I didn't start officially until like I would say like maybe Summer Jam of 2022. Cause at first I started off
Mm-hmm.
locals, which made me like warm me up for like my future for wherever I wanted to start like playing fighting games and stuff like that. So I started off locals. That's when Tekken 7 had came out, like season one Tekken 7. I was pretty alright, but I wasn't the greatest. I think I was pretty bad at the game, but it was getting me around. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing pretty good with my locals at in 2016, 2017, I would say. And then down the line, I started trying to get to places. I'm trying to like see what major tournaments are going around, what kind of tournaments I could go to where I can try and build my rep up and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it really didn't start until, like I said, Summer Jam 2022. That's like I would say the first like regional I went to, and I played Tekken 7 there. I didn't do too well, but I did all right. I did pretty decent
Mm-hmm.
to where it motivated me to want to like compete more. So down the line, I started discovering more in events that were happening to where I like in 2023 I started traveling to Combo Breaker. I went back to Summer Jam. I went back to well, I went to Winter Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
I went to CEO Taku. Just various events that I noticed that I really started traveling for in 2023, especially in 2024. I really like was traveling this year,
Mm-hmm.
so I was just trying to get the feel for it. And since I've already gotten used to the feel, I'm very much in a great place, and I very
Well,
much enjoy
speaking
it.
about in a great place here, it says here Evo 2024 Project Justice winner.
Oh, yep, I did win Project Justice.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good there. So,
Hey, shout out to Reggie, but they can't hear his audio.
what?
They said that they can't hear Reggie's audio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
King Ray lost his audio. Lost his audio. Oh!
They're saying that they can't hear Reggie's audio.
Can
Mm.
We heard you, Reggie. They can't hear us. I think they can just hear Kate.
Oh, wait a second there. Start talking.
Gonna have to
Hello,
repeat all of
hello,
that.
hello.
You
I
might
mean, I
have
can
to.
like, I can do like a long story short. I can make it like,
How
I can
about
do a
now?
long story short for sure. Like, is it good now, guys? Is it
Good
good?
now,
Are we
yeah.
good? All right. So, long story short, I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, New York. Shout out to all my Queens people. I started with fighting games at the age of 5. Starting off Tekken 3 down the line, I started playing different games off my 360. That's when I started like going down the retro route, especially like going with my sisters and my big brother. to where I started learning retro games like Vampire Savior, Fatal Fury Special, Virtua Fighter,
Super Turbo.
uh, Super Turbo, Tekken 5, all the OG Tekkens. And it started off when I was at a local. It started off a local that was near in Garden City in Long Island called Waypoint Gaming. Shout out Waypoint Boys. That was a very long time ago, off season 1 of Tekken 7, and down the line. That local specifically got me prepared to where I wanted like to start traveling more,
Hmm.
and that's where like a few years later I got to start at my first event, which was Summer Jam of 2022, and it was my first regional. I didn't like have the budget at the time to where I wanted to start traveling like to different competitions over all over the place, all over the state. That's when I wanted to like adapt to my stuff, my play style, and you know get to start traveling for all these various games. That's where like in 2023 I had gone to see Otaku, I had gone to Combo Breaker, I had gone back to Summer Jam, I had gone to Winter Brawl. It was just a good amount of these events to where like it prepared me. And then 2024, that's when I really like started traveling all over the place because I went to Evo this year.
Hmm.
I went back to Combo Breaker, of course I had to go back. I went to what else did I go to? I went to DreamHack Dallas.
Nice.
Went to DreamHack
Nice.
Dallas. I went to East Coast Throwdown. That just happened not too long ago. Uh, DTN, and I plan on going to see Otaku in December, so I will definitely be there for that.
Very good.
I'm gonna see
Very
you.
good.
I'm gonna see you, Ray.
That's good. So real quick, spinning right back to it again because the mic was a little goofy. We're talking real quick. Also, you got first place for Project Justice there at
Oh
Evo.
yeah,
Very big
yep.
deal.
Yep. It's a shout out my homie Kalis. He was the organizer of that event specifically because a lot of we have a good amount of people in the Project Justice community, but not a lot of them like tend to be in the states because they're in different countries,
Hmm.
especially the ones who like mainly play. Like there's like Hina and Banana Shot, and then the Mikey. Like those are like the main three people who play the game, and like they have like tech. Because they're from Korea,
Hmm.
so I like a lot of Korea and Japan play that game to where they have a clash together, and it's like a strong little rivalry they like to have the for that game specifically. But over here, we try to get some of the people from the other countries to come out here for Evo to see
Sure.
if we can get a good amount of people for Project Justice. But it wasn't crazy, but we had like about 30, 40 people who came wanted to support some Project Justice, and then me and the homie Kalis ended up being top two, to where I ended up taking first place, and yeah, that was that. It was real fun. It was really fun.
That's awesome. So we're going to shoot on over here to King Gray Jr. and we have, he is a pro Tekken player many, many, many years. Couple of years before COVID, I don't know if you remember. We
Oh,
commentated the final round together.
before you continue, Kate,
Yeah, go right ahead.
someone in the chat said your mic is low.
Oh, my mic is low. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. How about now? Better? It's
Let me
learning.
see.
It's a learning
I feel like I should
experience.
have the stream open as well, just in case.
Good. It should be.
It should be good.
It should be okay. It's slightly better.
Slight,
Ooh, that's
slightly better.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to put mine higher than your guys's. Better. Good, thank you. Okay. So, back in 2017 or around there, Ray and I commentated Tekken 7, which was brand new. I don't know
do
if you
remember.
remember that. Yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah, that was something. That was wild.
I do remember.
So, from all those years competing for all those years, Ray, main Tekken competitor here, pro player, doing fantastically. 22nd of the Tekken World Tour for Tekken 8, and
So close.
let's hear more about you, Ray.
So I guess my story would be kind of a long one too. I started playing, well, I guess I started learning the game when I was around 3 years old with my dad. He was the one who taught me how to play since he was competing for like years before me.
Mhm.
But I think my first tournament was when I was around like 5. 5 was when he felt like I was ready to like have my first tournament experience. So I went to like an offline event when I went to Classic, no rounds. So It was fun. I had a good time that day. But the tournament after that, which would be like my second one, I ended up getting a round. So that was pretty big progress for, my like second time competing in a tournament. And from like that day on, I just really like just had fun with the game to where I just felt like just playing it and not really like wanted to grind to become like a super pro level player until like I think 2022 where I had like a year break from Tekken 7 because the game is honestly getting on my nerves because we've had that game for like so long. It's like year 7 of us having that game and it was just like it was getting kind of old at that point. Like no changes, no buffs, nerfs, nothing. Like we had to deal with Kunimitsu, Fang, all the other 2D characters that were in the game. So I decided to just take a year break from it. Came back in 2023 and it's something just like I hadn't played the game for so long to where it felt like I actually wanted to get better at it. So that's honestly the year that I really started to like hit the lab and start learning
Mm.
stuff with, my character and learning matchups between other characters and whatnot. And then coming to the announcement for Tekken 8
Mm-hmm.
was where it really caught my eye, especially when Asuka got announced because that's who I play and that's who I main. When I heard that the game was going to be an aggressive based game, that like automatically got me on board because of the fact that that's been my playstyle for years, even through all the years of like a defensive based Tekken, like from T1 to like T7. All the other games have been super defensive, but this is going to
Yeah.
be like the very first Tekken game that was going to be based off an offensive playstyle, which was honestly kind of crazy. So coming to launch, like when we had the CNT, CBT, I labbed as much as I could within those two. And then when the game dropped, I think my first outside tournament, um, coming into that was Max Mode or
Mm.
No, I think it was TNS9. TNS9.
Okay.
So TNS9, I got top 8 winners. I lost to Fear and Junya. I got fourth there, which wasn't that bad. Shadow ended up winning that event, I think, with Zaf. When Zaf was like bottom 3 at the time, which is fucking crazy. And then I think after that was Max Mode, and I think I ended up winning that event over. I think Chop and JJ got second and third, which
Nice.
was a pretty cool event. I'm really hope because Max Mode's coming back next year, so
It
I'm
is.
hoping.
I
Yeah, I'm
believe the
hoping
end
that
of
event becomes a
April.
TWT event. If
Yeah.
it becomes like a challenger event, I think that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Having
Oh,
one in the U.S. because we need more.
I think it
we need
might. I
more.
think it has a good chance. I think it
I
has a
think it
good
has the
chance.
chance of becoming the new final round. The event was
Oh
really well
yeah, it
ran.
was. Yeah, it
I
was good.
need to get my damn passport, man. The day I get my passport, oh, I'm locked in. I'm
Let's
locked
say
in.
for me, because like I had gotten mine this year to like start seeing what I could do TWT wise, and the
Same.
first event where I went out of like the country for the first time ever was Canada to Electric Clash, where I got fifth.
Hmm.
That was a challenger event. Um, and then like the same weekend, I was to Evo Japan, so I went to Japan as well. That was such a cool experience over there. But I did not do well in the tournament at all. I went like 3-2, I think. It was pretty bad.
There's a
Made it
lot,
out of pools and
you have the
losers.
time zones and the flight and everything. It can be, it
Hmm.
can be a lot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I was there like a week ahead of time too. Yeah, I stayed there for like 2 weeks. It
Oh,
was pretty
nice.
long,
That's pretty cool.
but it was a good trip. I really just overall enjoyed the trip over there. But I think going into that, there were some like more tournaments along the line. If anybody knows me, then they know that I competed in a lot of online events.
Hmm.
So like I think TNS is one of our biggest online events here in the US right
Yeah.
now for NA.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
currently have like I think 9 wins in
That's
TNS.
great.
And then the person that has the most is Joe. Joe has like 10. So I'm like one behind him.
You're one off.
One off, literally. Yeah. And he beat me for he beat me for those two when he had 8. He beat me for 2 of them.
Mm.
It felt so horrible. I gave him 10 wins.
Oh man, you'll get it. You'll get them. You'll get them.
Yeah, we'll see. But there's that. Trying to think. I think the next actual like big major event I went to after that was Versus, where I got second. So
Mm,
that was really the big
mm,
one.
mm. I was watching that. I was like, "Come on, man, let's go!"
For anyone who watched
I
that,
was,
yeah,
yo,
that
I
was
was like with two friends, like in a restaurant that day, and I
that
was
was pretty
literally on my
loud.
phone,
It was
like,
pretty loud.
"Oh, Ray, please!" Yo, I was literally cheering for him from the restaurant. I'm like,
But
"Please,
that was
man."
like my second trip outside of, well, third trip considering Canada and Japan, but like third trip outside of the States, but it was the first trip I had ever taken like by myself, so I was
Right.
like by myself for the whole trip and everything.
Yeah.
So it was like a new experience in that regard, but is nothing that I wasn't ready for. So I get over there. I made a little video of talking about what expectations I had going into there, like thanking people, helping like my local TO, because that's kind of my sponsor. That's who I rep. Like he helped send me out there and whatnot. And then thanking my dad and other stuff as well. So I made that video, and then I think the next day we had pools. I was there with Fear and Ty. Fear was like my coach the whole tournament, pretty much, literally. So I get through pools, and I make it out on winners. And then I think later that day I had to fight double first,
Mm.
and I think by far that was like my hardest match of that whole tournament. It came down to final round, and I just got can read off a Peeper block. That sealed off that set, and then afterwards to make so I had to play Majin to make top 8 winners, but beating double, that was like my first time ever cracking top 16 or like top 32 in like a major tournament
Yeah.
ever on winner side.
Right.
So I was already there with that, and then I was like in a position where, wait, if I win this match, I'm in top 8 winners. Like, what is going on here? And it's versus like the 2 best law players in the world. So it's
Yeah.
like I beat one, I'm good with the matchup. I can beat the other one. So I fight Manja, lose first match, come back game 2, and then we have game 3 where um I think what really sealed the deal for me game 3 was me reacting to his DSS not canceling and then Rage Art punishing it, which was super hilarious. Like everybody was like everybody was going crazy when they saw that because they didn't know that it was gonna hit. Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure not a lot of them knew that. Like Law can't do anything if he doesn't cancel DSS.
Oh wow.
But it was really funny. And then after that, it's just like I was just rolling off the momentum I had from that round, and I just ended up winning the set. And anybody that saw that match saw the pop off after.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
saw the pop off
Yeah.
after that set. It, like first time ever making top 8 winners. Like one of my biggest goals for this year was making a top 8 in a master event this year, so I had accomplished that. I had never made it past top 32 in any major ever. And I made top 8 winners in my first ever master,
Mhm.
like outside of the states. So it was pretty wild.
That's fantastic. That was really good.
But, rolling off that, getting second at Versus really just put me in a position to try and make finals. Because if I would have won Versus, I would be in finals right now. No
Yeah.
questions. Like, literally. I would have been in finals if I would have won Versus. But, Fang, what do you do?
Well, there's
The
still
match
there's
was
still
so
a lot
terrible.
of seasons coming through for Tekken.
We hope.
So
That's all we can
you'll
hope
be
for at
good.
this point.
You'll be good. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what was after. I think Bolivia was it Punishment 3 after? Yeah, I think it was Punishment 3 after Versus. That was another Master event. So I had another slot for Masters, so I wanted to go to Versus to try to get more points, or Bolivia, to Punishment to get more points. So I went to Bolivia.
Mhm.
I made top 8 winners, and then I lost to a Bell. But it really just sucked because as soon as I made top 8 winners, I finally started to feel the altitude sickness when I got top 8
my.
over there.
Yeah.
'Cause it was a 1-day event, so
Wow.
I just couldn't fight off the sickness anymore.
That's
But it
something.
really sucked.
Oh.
I had beaten Kudons in that tournament to make top 16 winners, and then I ended up losing to him in top 8 losers, which kind of sucked, but it wasn't really a bad tournament, like way to end the tournament, because, 5th out of Masters not bad.
About that might show if did he played Steve right in that
Played
tournament.
Steve, yeah.
I was expecting Eddie, man. I
He's
didn't know he
messed
made
up,
it
dude.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
because he
messed up.
in Tekken 7 he played Eddie and was Eliza.
Liza, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie's not good.
Hey, Eddie wasn't good in that game, but in this game he's pretty threatening. I would say.
Yeah.
He has hopes and dreams. You know.
There's an issue with the character when he can't launch punish stuff that needs to be launch punished.
They gave him the right punishment tools in this game now, especially man. He's very much a viable character now. It depends the player. It literally just depends the player. I would say.
He's hard, but
Yeah.
like after getting that finished at punishment, I think I went to Mexico for Thunderstruck, where I
Mhm.
got 9th, lost to Farzine and Shadow, but I had
Mhm.
never played a Pakistan player before, so I honestly didn't expect like anything that happened.
Mm.
So next time.
Yeah.
That was like a next time moment. After Thunderstruck, I went to Greece
Mm-hmm.
for Clash of the Olympians, where I got 7th, lost to Keisuke, which was kind of a bad loss, cause yeah, I got put in a situation where I needed to go to TGU at that point, which I did, and yeah, I got absolutely destroyed that tournament.
Did he drop any combos?
Mm.
Yes.
Oh.
It's KSK, you know. What can you say?
Not even a question, dude. Man.
Oh my
I'm
goodness,
heavily
man.
considering going to finals, but for the last chance qual. But honestly, I don't know. I might, just maybe, but it depends.
That's, I think, the first week of
But
December, right? First or second week of December?
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I think it's the second week of December, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the best event of this year. If TGU wasn't already,
Mm.
TGU was a bloodbath. Can't imagine what finals is gonna be like, and it's in Japan too,
Right.
so it's gonna
It's gonna
oh,
be packed.
Yes.
Lee.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
have
so
like
packed,
almost
man. I
600
don't know.
entrants for it.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
really?
Yeah, they had almost like 600 people registered for finals. It's gonna be wild. And
This
only
is-
top 2 qualifies.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't even qualify for the winner's side either. They qualify in
For like the ultimate death pool.
the actual finals, yeah.
Literally the
Yeah.
ultimate death pool.
That's something.
I mean, it is what it is, though. Like, there's not much they can do.
Well, let's head on over here to young Matt Teen. And he's been
Yo.
playing, of course, Street Fighter mainly. Street Fighter 5 Sakura, Street Fighter 6, Pro Ken level. And in Street Fighter 6, he was top 8 with Ken at Summer Jam 2023.
Yep. So I'm young Matt Teen. A lot of people call me Matt for short. And I actually started playing. Well, my first fighting game was Street Fighter 5, obviously, and I think I started playing. I think in the start of season 5, which was like the final year for that game, and I think I was like 13 at the time, probably.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny because my uncle actually got me into Street Fighter because he would kind of talk about it a lot, like with me, but I never really like played the games. And whenever I did play with him, I would play like random characters, like just have fun and shit. But it's funny because I remember watching him play Street Fighter 4, and he actually made Sakura. So
Oh,
that
okay.
was his. So he actually made Sakura in Street Fighter 4. It's actually not the reason why I picked her. I actually just thought she was cool in Street Fighter 5, but then he told me that he used to main her in 4, and I remember watching this Sakura in 4, so I was like, oh. So I remember I picked up the game. I actually played Colleen first in that game, but I was because I was having like a character crisis because I was just kind of playing the game for fun. But then I remember seeing that Sakura was like cool, and
Mhm.
I played her for a few months. I wasn't really good with her, and then I'm not gonna lie, it was a random ass day, and I kind of just got good. And then when I kind of started taking her serious, I kind of just like labbed her a lot and practiced for her a lot. And I actually, because I think I actually started playing COVID, by the way, so
Mm.
I didn't really get to go to like any majors, obviously, because everything was like shut down, and not even like locals either. But I do remember going to like my first ever local in Jersey, and I did pretty well. But I think the highlight for me when it comes to Street Fighter 5 was when I went to Summer Jam 2022, which was my first ever major, and I remember I actually got top 8. I actually got top 8 in that tournament for my first major. So, and I beat some pretty good players. So that was kind of like a highlight for me because I kind of put my name out there for the first time, and I actually got to I got to meet a lot of people that I haven't seen before that was supporting me online. So I guess a few years after that, I was kind of cooking online and stuff. But this is when the game was kind of ending, like after Luke came out. So Street Fighter 6 comes around, and obviously the game came out a year ago. So I've been playing that for almost a year and a half now. And I'm not gonna lie, when I seen that Street Fighter 6 was released, I was kind of nervous to see how I was gonna be able to pick up the game because, like I said, Street Fighter 5 was like my first fighting game,
Right.
which I kind of played by accident because I didn't ever think I'd get into like fighting games like that. But yeah, when Street Fighter 6 came out, I didn't really. So I actually played Ryu in the start just to like learn the fundamentals and transfer my fundamentals in Street Fighter 5 and just fighting games in general, which I was able to do. But I didn't really like Ryu. I mean, I think Ryu's a cool character, but he didn't really like fit my playstyle.
Sure.
So when I was streaming the game, a lot of people were saying that I should play Ken because he's a very aggressive and he's actually very he's broken in this game. So I picked him up. I learned like a baby combo and got like to master with him in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then um I started learning him a bit more, and then this is actually when Summer Jam 2023 came up, like a month after why I picked up Ken, and like I said, like he said, I got top eight with him. Why I got top eight at Summer Jam again, but
Mm-hmm.
with Street Fighter Six this time and
Yes.
winners. So
Yes.
that felt really that felt really good because I feel like after that, I feel like I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna actually take this game like very serious. How I took Street Fighter Five with, and I think I finally found my character. So after that, I pretty much was killing it in the locals, and I didn't really. That was like the last major I traveled to until recently when I went to ECT, and then I mean we all know how that went. So that's pretty much it.
Mm.
Right. Very cool there. Very cool. So now that we know a little bit about everybody here, we're going to move to some group chat questions here. So, how about for each of you guys, what is your favorite gaming memory?
Oh wow, I have a lot. I can't lie.
I, I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot.
I have a lot of those, man. I can't lie. Gotta think about that one. There's so much I can remember. Oh well, one I can say is definitely CEO Taku 23. They had a Urgai's tournament. Urgai's God Bless the Ring. It's a PS1 arena fighting game
Oh.
that a lot of people don't really know about. I had literally just like got back with the game because I haven't played it. I used to play it with a couple like of friends in a friend group that like about like I would say 3 years ago, and then once I seen that CEO Otaku like they had it like they were running a tournament for it, I'm like I might have to play this game again. I might want that trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I they did have a Discord for it. I was just like playing with a good amount of people that I knew because I already like a couple of people who were already in the server I knew, and they were like trying to do the same thing. So I'm like, if y'all want to get some games, we get some games. And then we had gotten some games, and then like this happened before the event. So this was like 3 weeks prior to when the actual event came up, and the day of the event, I went in there and I was playing. I also played Street Fighter Six in that same exact tournament. I did real bad. Like I went like 2-2, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. That's when I had just like got back in it to see if I would do so, like if I would do well.
Yeah.
I was contemplating. Well, I was supposed to be there for MK1, but I had gotten DQ'd because I wasn't there like early enough. So that was out the picture. And I went 2-2 in Street Fighter 6, like I said. But early guys came. I had played everybody in my pool, got top eight, got to grand finals, ended up securing the W, and my friends were celebrating with me when I got the dub, and I was just so happy.
Nice.
Everybody was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at this man go. He plays everything. I'm like,
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
oh man.
Very good.
Well, that's one of the memories. I also do have another one, but I would let the fine gentlemen go if they
So
would
yeah,
like
it's
to
up to
say
you
what
guys.
they
Whatever you
had.
want to do here.
Honestly, I think one of my favorite gaming memories was when I traveled to like my first ever like tournament, like not even to the major, like a local. So the local, so it was like I said, it was during COVID when I was playing Street Fighter Five. I think so. The tournament it was called Rival Fools. It was hosted by I'm pretty sure Kate knows, but it's Miss Patricia and Johnny
Yes.
Fraser. Johnny Fraser is a really good creator when it comes to creating like sticks and his artwork and all that stuff. So shout out to him. And it was just really cool because like I knew people, but I didn't know their faces obviously because I didn't meet anybody. But a lot of people just knew who I was based on like my online tournaments and like people that watched my stream.
Yes.
And like when I first got there, the amount of people that said like what's up to me and like just knew who I was like made me feel like it was a cool feeling because it's like I haven't really met these people like IRL, and like these are people I can like consider my friends now, just people that support me. So I was like, this is pretty cool, and I actually did pretty good at the local too. So
Good.
it was a good moment.
Good. Good. Good.
I did say this earlier, but like I feel like the best memory I've had from just playing in general was my whole like I don't think there's anything that even contests my whole versus run. I really don't think there is. Like making top 8 winners in a master event. That's not something a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Number 1. Number 2, we had an EU crowd cheering for somebody from NA. That was crazy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Never heard an EU crowd chant USA in my life. That
That's
was
a
like
that's a rare
that was the
occurrence. I
funniest
can't
thing.
lie.
Yes.
That was the
Yeah.
funniest
Yeah.
thing for me.
That's how you know like the whole background of EU had your back, especially like when all the like great EU players got eliminated from the bracket,
Exactly,
and you were like
exactly.
the only like American in top 8.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, and you're still young, like
Yeah.
you're 18, right?
Yeah, about to be
Yep,
19. Yeah,
about to be 19. The youngest Tekken player they've probably ever seen in their life, just
Yeah.
going crazy in top 8, chanting USA. That
yeah.
definitely put a smile on their face, and it definitely made one light on yours as well, for sure.
There's that. Like, even when I go back and watch the clip of me beating like Manja to make top 8, and just like remembering how I felt in that moment, like just like realizing that I had actually made top 8, and even like looking back on all the other matches I had in top 8, like when I beat Ryef, when I beat Kakoma, like I can't believe I dropped that combo versus Kakoma though. That was supposed to be wall running 3. I should have just done 4 3+4. Not even gonna lie.
Mm.
But like even then, just remembering like the feelings I had in the moment where, I felt like I was truly having fun with a game that, people have been hating on and like talking, bad about and like asking for buffs and nerfs and other stuff since like the release of the game. So that's by far the most fun I've ever had playing Tekken 8.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you know what? Those all build towards the next steps of when you get to the next level then, because then you're
Yeah.
learning from those experiences, and then you go, okay, I know, even subconsciously, I know what happened, so now I'm ready for, you know, top 4,
Yeah.
and then how to then maneuver some of that. So very cool. Very, very cool stuff there. So let's head on our next question here. Each of your personal biggest achievements.
I mean, well, I would probably say it was recently when I beat Angry Bird at ECT to get to top 96 because so like I said, I have this is ECT was technically because I've been to Summer J 2022, 2023. I went to Defender North 2022, 2023, and then I went to NEC 2022. So the last major I went to before ECT was Summer Jam because I don't really get to travel that much, which I actually did. I'm on the process of getting my passport. So yeah. But yeah, so that was just he's one of the best players, probably the best player in this region next to Big Bird.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people didn't think I was gonna win that. And this is why like when I won I was like I was like I was excited, like I was hyped, but I was like I wasn't like I don't know how to explain it. Like I just knew I was going into. I was like, I knew it's gonna be hard, but I was like, I'm just playing my game. We'll see what happens. And like a lot of people considered it an upset, and I mean it was, but I don't know. This was a really good feeling because I proved to myself that like I deserve, like I put my name out there more,
Yeah.
and I deserve to come more and stuff.
Very good.
Well, like you said, achievements, right?
Yeah. 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 Or
Um,
anything that you're proud of.
anything that I'm proud of?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
when you mentioned it, I had gotten
The
I
Eva
did
win.
get for the Evo win, yeah, Project Justice. I did get first place. I was very happy with that
Yes.
since I
Yeah.
was walking away with I was bringing a Evo title back to New York, especially with a community event. I had the medal and everything too. I was very happy about that. I was very satisfied. I also had won first place at Alpha 2 in East Coast Throwdown. and I
Wow.
was very
Yes. Yeah.
satisfied
Yeah.
with that
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I was very satisfied with that W too because I had to go against Nerd Josh in grand finals, and Nerd Josh, he's not easy to deal with because
Oh yeah.
last year at ECT 23, I had played him in losers side of the pools.
Hmm.
And he messed me up crazy. I'm just like, oh my goodness, man. When I lost, I'm like, I learned my lesson because he's like years ahead of me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll get him next time. I'll get him next time. And then next time, which was this year at ECT at Grand Finals for Alpha 2, I secured the W and I was very satisfied. I'm like, yep, it's for last year.
Very good.
But I was very much satisfied. I also had gotten a 33rd at Evo for Tekken 8. And
Ooh.
that being one of the biggest events, well, that being the biggest event for fighting games in history, like me doing that good at Evo for the first time, I was just very much
Yeah.
satisfied,
That's
and I'm just
fantastic.
like, in my head, I'm just like, if you're able to like play this powerful and do this good, you can do anything. You just need to put your mind to it. You just gotta like just keep going forth, no matter what, and you'll get to the placement you're desired to be at if you just keep putting
For
your
sure.
best foot forward. Pretty much.
Really the biggest fighting game tournament ever.
Oh, it
Yes.
is. Hands down, it is. No doubt, it is. It definitely is. I can say that for sure.
Sure.
But
I
that
think like it's well, you still Reggie, you don't got more that you're proud of, man.
um
Come on,
That
you.
not really
Jeez.
not.
We just did this recently. I was gonna say it, but I'm gonna let you say it.
What you about to
Ooh.
say? What was you about to say?
We just did this
Oh,
recently.
the 10v10. Me and King Ray actually were in a 10v10 team exhibition between it was me and a couple other NA players that were going against each other in Tekken 8, and it was like a live. It had like lives and stuff involved, like a 10v10 situation. Each player had to go against one another, and they had 10 lives or 2 lives. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So they basically, if you were able to eliminate them or if you were able to defeat them, it takes a life away, and they would either have the option to switch out or just keep going and make sure that they would be able to get that one person out since they were a problem. Um, it was yo, this man Junior was on a roll, man, because he was like one of the few last players that had to go because they saved them, like he's a secret weapon. He was a secret weapon, but we also had like two other four rank players on the team too, and
Or MVPs.
yes, bro, they those are the true MVPs because the other team didn't even know the matchup.
Oh.
So them being the creme de la creme of the team, like eliminating specific amount of players that we knew wouldn't stand a chance against that character since they don't know the matchup. It was divine. It was divine to watch. It was very very satisfying. Um, yeah, it was very fun. I hope to do that sometime again because
Good.
Yeah, I
like
hope
I
they do
had
that
really
again.
fun.
I feel like in general we need more 10v10 events because they're honestly just really hype.
They are. They were. It was hype that day. It was very hype that day. I was drunk. I was drinking soju while I was watching everybody play, so I'm just like, yes, this is what I needed. I
I
needed this
blame
so
Genghis.
bad.
Genghis convinced you all.
Oh man, yeah, Genghis was on a roll too when we was started the whole thing. He was going off. He was definitely going off with that thing, man. He was
I
doing
think
his
it was
thing.
fun though. They had it set up to where the captains of the teams were like, we didn't know who they were. We
Mhm.
just knew whether or not we were going to be a part of the event or not. And
Hmm.
then the captains had to play a first to five to decide who'd get first pick, and then
Whoa.
so on. So just seeing that was kind of funny. Our team captain was Ty, and then the other team captain was Jake Man, and then I think overall, um, how everything started off, cause like they had us all set up in like Discord, so we were all talking and whatnot to each other, and it was just like it was just a really fun experience just being in Discord with each other. So I really hope they do that again because I think that was by far the highlight of the whole thing, just being in Discord with each other.
Being in Discord with each other, just yelling, me making a lot of noise, just hyping everybody up. Like I swear to God, I'm the best hype man. When it comes to me seeing my friends on stage, I'm always the best hype man, and I try to give the best advice as much as I
Gotcha.
can to where my friends end up doing good and they end up getting great outcomes. So I'm just like, that's what I told you. That's what because I know for a fact if I was at versus watching this man Junior do his run, I would
Oh
have been going. I would have been throwing chairs. I would have been pushing people over me. I would have been doing so much stuff. just about just a bunch of energy just flowing around the environment just by me specifically, man. I would just been going off. I
Oh,
just want
that's
to be off.
good.
That's how much I care about my friends, man. That's how much I do.
I think for me though, I don't know. I've achieved this a lot this year alone.
Mhm.
I think. Well, I think because I said my initial goal earlier was making top 8 at a master event,
Yeah.
and that went from top 8 to top 3.
Mhm.
So, or just top 2 in general. So like it was kind of crazy. But there's one right there. Um, making 22nd on the global leaderboard for finals.
Mhm.
I really wish I would have been in top 20, but so close, but so far by a certain amount of points. But it is what it is. You got next year. Um, traveled the world basically this year. I've been to so many places outside the U.S. this year alone. Seeing as this is like my first year traveling outside the U.S. too,
Mhm.
and then just a bunch of other top 8s at other majors and challenger events as well this year. That's really my highlight.
Good. Those are good. Those are all really good highlights and achievements there. So, when there is a big event coming up or you just want to stay on top of everything, how about everybody's general practice and preparation routines?
Um, honestly, I usually if so basically if I know some of my friends, like some high level players that I know that are going, I usually practice with them
Mhm.
and play with them. If not, then like I'll probably stream a little bit and just like watch my matches back or like have my notes and stuff before the event. And especially like if I know certain people like in my pool or something, I'll make sure like I study on the player or even the character and just general stuff like that. To be honest, and I always just have a mindset just like whatever happens happens. Like I'm not really like if I was to play like a really good player round one or have to play them like round two, I wouldn't. I always tell myself like it's just other human being. Like an example, Angry Bird. Like I wasn't nervous at all to be honest until after the match. But like
After you
always,
realized.
yeah. Like going into it, like I really like some people think I'm capping, but I really was not nervous.
No, I feel that. I feel that.
Like maybe my hands were shaking a little bit, but like I wasn't really thinking about it until like after like I actually won. So yeah, it's just stuff like that. Like I'll practice with friends. I'll probably watch my matches back, or like I'll probably just grind on stream, stuff like that.
Anybody else?
Um, oh well, yeah, like what he said. If I have a lot of friends that I know that are very high level and very competitive,
Mhm.
competent to the game, depending on the game that I'm going for, it's always mainly going to be Tekken or maybe a retro fighting game that I tend to play a lot.
Mhm.
If I know anybody in that field that knows very much of the game, I'll hit them up. Like ask them like, yo, we want some games before the event comes up and everything. So I get warmed up, get prepared, know what I have to do
Yeah,
against certain individuals like this, how to deal with that situation, how to block that move, how to punish that move right there, how to sidestep that move, all the main key points of what I have to do to go against some certain individuals in my pool. They'll be like, yeah, of course, I want to get you ready, I want to get you pumped up, I know you're gonna do good, so we just gotta get you like we gotta have to let you do better, like we're trying to
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
help you
Mhm.
become better and everything like that.
Just be
So it's just
prepared.
like, just be prepared. So I end up playing them. I playing them like a first to 10 or two first to tens, depending on who they want me
Yeah,
to play. If I play my main, I'll play my main. If I play my sub character or anybody I tend to play in tournament, I'll play that character. And then after that, I'll look at the replays. I'll look at the key notes they told me what I need to do, like how to improve, what I need to watch out for, just in case, how the person plays, because if there's a certain individual in my pool that one of them have ever went against in the past,
Mhm.
they'll tell me like their key habits and everything that they've done to where I know how to deal with it if I do tend to run into them.
Yeah,
So
that's really
there's
good.
that. There's that, and then it's just muscle memory on what I need to do as well. So Yep. Very much. Very much.
I think like if you're a player on pro level, I think it's like really natural that like you're always pretty much labbing to learn more because you're never not gonna well you're never gonna know anything within the game. Like that's never gonna happen. So that's one thing. You should almost always be labbing new stuff whenever you get the chance. Online tournaments are a big way to practice too, since in the U.S., we don't really have a lot of ways to meet up and link up with each other in person and play. So online tournaments is basically the way that higher level players meet up in tournament to play each other on a weekly basis. But like if we're talking for like preparation for an event like coming up, taking a break is like always important. I always try to take maybe like a week or like a 3-day, 4-day break before an event, depending on the length of the event.
Mm.
Like if you're flying there, stuff like that, like driving, like how you're planning on getting there. So, I think taking a break is super important. You could always be like super, like not
Tired.
mentally well before the event, like you could be tired, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So making sure your mental is up to up to good, up to date. Mental is everything when it comes to games in general, like competition. So your mental is very important when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think just like over the years, like experience wise, like, maybe young and whatnot, but it's like when you've been competing for so long, it's like you know what you know. And at the end
Right.
of
Yeah.
everything, it's like, there's stuff that is important and there's stuff that anybody that competes should be doing on the regular. But I think there's a difference between wanting to get better at something and how you prepare for something. Because everybody labs. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's, like, if you want to get better at the game, you lab. Like, that's simple.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think preparing for an event has anything to do with, like, labbing, because that's something that you should already be doing. Like, studying up for your opponents, that's more along the lines of something that you would do to prepare for a certain event.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of like the key difference I see between the two, but it's like, I think at the end of it, the longer you've been doing something, the more keen and the easier it is for you to do stuff like that as well. So, and like during like my time, because I have like practice partners and whatnot that I
Mm-hmm.
try to help as well, because teach your students and it sometimes teaches you as well. So I
Yeah.
try to help out where I
Yeah.
can with my friends and whatnot, and I sometimes learn new things as well. So that's another good thing. But I think honestly, mental is the biggest thing about competition. So that's honestly my opinion on it. If I'm preparing for an event, I'm always making sure my mental is 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very good. Very cool there. Um, all right. So then, I guess that would also fall in line with what everyone's general competitive mindset is, whether you're at the competition or at home. Then, how would it change between the two? How do you keep the competitive mindset between the big tournaments, competitions?
Mm.
Well, I just keep calm. I always like give myself a speech before I go on stage and like talk to myself in my head, just like, yo, like you got this. Just lock in. Just do what you
True.
got to do. You know, you
Yeah.
go. You only got one life to live, so you got to make the most of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I always I try to get a jug of water or any type of H2O to help me like nourish my brain and my body. Some gum. Uh, just like put my main focus on that screen
Mm-hmm.
when
Yeah.
the fight's getting ready to start, and I just do my best. I do everything I can to like keep that mindset flowing and to where I'll end up in a good situation, and my outcome will be good as well if I just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I usually like when I'm offline, when I'm about to go on a stage or I'm about to play, I'm always like he said, like I got this. Like I don't really think negative. I'm just like, let's do it, let's get it over with, and then just lock in. Like I don't. Yeah, I think you should always like as a competitor, like try not to think if you're about to play in pools or even like on stream or something. Try not to think about it too much because if
Yeah.
you think about it too much, you kind of already lost,
Mm-hmm.
or you just get a little bit more nervous if you're already nervous. So, like me, like I'm just someone that doesn't naturally get nervous at all when I play. So that's why I also have like that mindset where like I'm just gonna lock in, do my thing, and that's kind of where it's taken. That's kind of how I got far. But
Like there are
uh,
also a lot of
yeah,
people in the FGC too that like there'd be like a good amount of players who just finally start going to their first major or it's their first local, their first offline, and then their mentality is like, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna do, man. I'm a little scared. I'm very nervous. Like
So
my first offline, I'm
No,
like,
yeah,
man,
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I remember. So I didn't like act that way, but I do remember saying that like the first time I like signed up for a major. But I was like, I got this. Like I'm chilling, and then like I
yeah,
said,
literally.
I got top 8 at summer jam, the first one I went to. So I was like, yeah. So yeah, and there's definitely a lot of people like that, and like I feel like you just gotta be confident in yourself, and
Hmm.
you won't feel that way.
Yep, basically.
I feel that. Um, I think the biggest like thing between online and offline is that, one is, you're playing in the comfort of your own home, on your own setup,
Hmm.
on your own
Yeah, for
lag,
sure.
other people, on your own, ping and whatnot. We all love that, don't we?
Haha.
Um, but, then you have offline where, you're spending money to travel to wherever you're going.
Right.
You have, the expectations of wanting to do well, wanting to, do something while you're over there, like get a certain placement, beat a certain player, whatnot.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's not even like you should do it. It's really a must that you just need to let all that stuff go and just as soon as you sit down, just focus on what you're there to do. What are you there to do? As soon as I sit down, I just remind myself that I'm playing the game that I've spent almost 14 years of my life playing. It's
Hmm.
like
Right.
there's no point in stressing over the fact that you're sitting down to play versus somebody using a broken character, like someone you don't like fighting against or a player you don't like fighting against. And, like as soon as you sit down, you are playing a video game.
Right.
That's literally what it is at the end of the day.
For
So
sure.
whether you're on stream or not, it doesn't really matter. Like you're sitting in a chair and you're playing a game. So you have all the eyes on you, sure, but majority of the time when you're playing in a big online event, the same thing is happening as well.
Yeah, and it's like that's where I said about like when you're playing against like a top player, like I guess somebody better than you, like they're a human being. It's like
They're human, literally. Yeah.
yeah, like anybody can lose. Like you just gotta lock in.
Hmm.
Just don't be nervous. Try not to be nervous.
So
The
then,
only like the
speaking
hardest
about,
thing about
oh
competitive play in general is
no,
like,
go
well,
ahead. No,
yeah,
go. Yeah.
the hardest thing I think about competitive play in general is like, yeah, you're playing the game, but it's like I think the most important thing about competing in general is being able to keep your composure, because as soon
Yeah,
as you lose your mental, like I said, like you're kind of finished. And
Hmm.
in a game like, Tekken and Street Fighter, I feel like the games are built on a lot of 50-50 scenarios to where it just
sure.
kind of gets in your head a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and
as long as
honestly, I
you
don't
know
know.
how to make that stuff, yeah, you're
I
good.
feel like I get more in my. It might sound different, I guess, but I feel like I get in my head more when I'm at home than when
Hmm.
I play offline. Because when I'm offline, I'm like, if something happens, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like I probably would think about it after the match, but during the match, not really. But when I'm online, oh, no, I'm definitely like, if I'm like salty, I'm definitely like raging. But like,
If something
I'm chill.
happens offline, yeah, that was supposed to happen. If something
Yeah,
happens online, nah, it was the lag's fault, dude.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah, true.
Yeah. That's
But
the funny
yeah, I
thing
agree with you.
too. And it is like you said, it's all about some of the things that you can't control. Maybe you're tired that day. Maybe for whatever reason, everybody has good and bad. A good gaming day, a bad gaming day. Things like that. And yeah, I noticed for me personally, if it was a long trip in, and then you pretty much that next half a day or a day goes and you have to play immediately, then you can be just exhausted.
Oh,
It
that's
just throws you
rough.
off.
That is
Yeah,
rough.
absolutely. Yeah,
I
they're
hate
rough
that.
ones.
Yeah, that happened to me at DreamHack Dallas this year. That was like super rough. I had my flight out of Miami to Dallas Fort Worth
Mm,
for that tournament, and I think I got in like 3 hours before the tournament was supposed to start because the flight
yeah.
got delayed. It was like storming and whatnot during that time because everybody was like getting their flights canceled and whatnot.
Mm.
Wow. Yeah, that can affect. Yeah, absolutely. It can affect everything there. Well, then, speaking about online versus offline, what's everybody's preferred option. We were saying online is great for also making sure that you keep up with, ability, competition ability, and everything.
Yeah.
And I can see that too. But, and, in my opinion, sometimes offline is, can be the better standard, but, it's also trying to get there and then being refreshed enough and everything to be able to do it. I enjoy offline. How about you guys? What are your thoughts?
I enjoy offline way more than online. Offline being the fact that you run into more of the players
Mm-hmm.
who aren't really like online like that. There are always like people who are you tend to see offline a lot that don't play online at all. There's
Mm-hmm.
the people who grew up playing offline. There are people who are like adapting to being offline more than being online, and those are the people you tend to see at like locals and stuff. And it's like the setups too. You got to get used to the setups.
Yes.
So when
Yeah.
you get used to the setups offline, you'll be able to play more flexible, and you'll be able to like get more response to where you know how to deal with the setup you're playing on,
Mm-hmm.
depending on if it's a good setup or if it's a bad setup.
Or
It really doesn't matter
system,
yeah, system. As
right?
long as you adapt to it,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get good results no matter what. Online is good, but it can get really stressful, especially if you're like fighting people in a whole like another region or a whole another country like Mexico or
DR.
like West, yeah, DR or West Coast. Like, oh my gosh, man,
Like,
those
I
are
just think
so
that
stressful to deal with.
it really is, and like I think to me, I'd stick offline is more fun, and also like you said, like I think it's better, obviously, but like you said, there's factors to it. Like obviously, if it's a good or a bad setup, the environment, stuff like that, and I feel like yeah, like I feel like online is way more stressful most of the time because like obviously rollback lag
Yeah.
slash lag, and
Right.
then
Right.
match up with like people from other countries and shit, and then um just I mean you're sitting at home at your own you're sitting home in your own setup, so I guess it could feel a little bit more like relaxed, but I just feel like it's hard to keep your composure sometimes compared to offline, which I feel like some people would argue that it's hard to keep your composure offline, but that's just my opinion.
I don't know. I really do like. It's not even trying to be mean. I really do feel like if people don't like offline, it's either because you've never been to a good offline event before, or it's literally just because there's something wrong with you. What does offline have that online doesn't have? Like the
True.
reason why people travel is to play, better competition on a better wavelength and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to like see friends in person and stuff. And that's not something that you're gonna be able to get like just playing online. It's
Right.
not gonna it's
Right.
not gonna better you.
Yeah.
By far, traveling to offline events is how you get better at the highest level of
Mm-hmm.
competition. There's no like other way around it.
And the pressures are different.
Pressure's different, experience is different. And I think just by far, you get the most fun out of traveling and being able to just experience an offline event than just, sitting at home playing in an online tournament. Like this, the experience that you get from being able to just go to an offline event,
Mm-hmm.
play casuals, play in tournament, like, talk to friends, talk to other pros that are there and just be like, damn, I really enjoyed that event. And like at the end of the day, like even if you're out of the tournament, you get to still enjoy the event afterwards. So it's like it's not a
Facts. And
total
you get to
loss.
hang out. You get
Yeah.
to hang out with your friends too.
Yes.
Like I said, either bro's never been to an offline tournament before, like a good one, or there's honestly something wrong with people that have been to offline tournaments and be like, nah, online is better. Online you get literal lag, like 100 ping
Like
lag.
literal
Right.
lag and
Offline
input delay.
offline we're not dealing with that as bad as like normally we would playing online
Mm-hmm.
unless like the stream setups are like just completely trash, which
Yeah,
that's
that.
honestly rare now in this game.
Yes. Yeah. 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 You always have the ability. Like you guys are saying, your friends are nearby. Your friends can cheer you on. They can coach you a little bit. It's great. Plus, the experience is so much different. The higher that you make it through the brackets and the different, pools that you make it through, it's a whole different pressure and mentality than if you're, in your environment in your house and you're pretty much here kind of technically solo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know one thing that sort of throws me off a little bit going to some of the offline tournaments is you'll have, if you're lucky, you'll have the speakers there so you can hear the game. But then sometimes, you don't, and then you're thinking, oh man, you should try to bring a headset or,
Yeah,
you
that's the
know,
worst.
yeah, or you do bring the headset, and then it's that awkward kind of thing of, well, do you want to hear sound, or do you mind if I use the headset, or and then you're worried about the sound cutting out, and yeah, but yeah, very good. Yeah, online and offline, I think both have their pluses and minuses. Yeah, of course, also like we were saying, online a lot more convenient, right? Yeah, that it's here, but you have to deal with the lag and everything else, so. Very cool there. So then, how about some suggestions on how to make online and offline tournaments a better experience then?
Fix the net code.
Fix the net code. That's all we are literally telling the developers.
Yeah.
Please fix your
Please fix
damn
the
net code. It's
Please.
so bad, and we've been saying it's so bad for the longest time. All you have to
Make
do is
make
just
NA to Mexico like 60 ping. That'll save our lives.
give us rollback. Give us rollback
Give us
options. Give us
rollback
rollback in every game possible. We need a rollback in every
Oh,
fighting
man.
game that has existed on this planet.
Yeah, that is my
KOF 98 has rollback. Guilty Gear Action Core has rollback. 2002 UM has rollback. What other game has rollback? I think Fightcade. Every game on Fightcade has rollback.
Yeah.
Can all these modern fighting games just please get rollback, please? Every single one. Dragon Ball Fighters just got rollback.
Yeah.
DBZ
Yeah.
Fighters has rollback too.
I don't even know that much people that play that game, but I know people around my way do play that game as well. I know people around the Bronx and Manhattan play that game. Bro, we just need rollback for every fighting game possible. That's literally
True.
it. That's just it.
Yeah, that's
Du-
actually really it.
PS1 Duck Station fighting games have rollback. I was playing Tekken 3 earlier today from somebody from Europe,
Mm.
and it felt better than Tekken 8 online. I can say that for sure.
Wow.
It was
Yes,
150
sure.
ms. It felt like crisp. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to do this again. We need online. We just need online to have rollback. Every fighting game just needs to have rollback. Every fighting game possible just has to have
Do you
that
think
option.
it's because it's expensive, or is it just difficult to develop?
Developers are
That-
lazy.
Yeah, that developers are pretty lazy. If
we had it in the older games, there's no excuse for us not being able to have it in the modern games.
Exactly. Like, come on now. Especially if someone's taking that. It was one person who took the time to develop rollback into a PS1 emulator. It took him a couple of months,
Ooh.
and it was only one individual. That's how you know, with a whole team,
Yeah.
with a whole bunch of people, it should take them less time. Especially if one person can take a couple of months to just like implement
That out.
rollback in an emulator. A whole team can do that in less time since it's way more a bunch of people.
Very cool.
It's not hard. It's a simple procedure, especially with a team.
That's honestly it. Like, if there was
Literally.
anything more that we could add to like making stuff like that better, because it's like, I think the rollback for online is a very big thing because like nobody wants to have to deal with lag. But I think other than that, if like other options too, because I feel like there's more advanced options in a lot of other games
Mhm.
compared to fighting games, because like you'll have stuff where people are like able to mess around with a lot of other settings that can actually like affect the gameplay, like make it more crisp, and Tekken doesn't really have that. Like, we just gotta like lower our graphics and whatnot.
Yeah,
Like, that's all we
yeah.
have.
The settings,
That's
yeah,
it.
the graphic settings, yeah.
Like, that's really all we have. Like, we don't have any other good way to make like the games run better compared to other games.
How about for offline tournaments? What do you guys think?
Ugh,
Everybody
that's hard.
desync your goddamn controllers
Absolutely. Well, there is a in PlayStation. I think there's a setting where
to turn off Bluetooth.
Yes, turn off Bluetooth. But then people are
TOs,
bring
turn
your
off the
cords.
Bluetooth on the PS5s, please.
Bring your cords.
Bring your wired
Bring your
cords.
wires.
That's it. That's it.
I think
'Cause
for
what
me, it
happened
really
to-
depends.
Did you
It
bring your wire
depends.
today?
Literally,
I think-
man.
I think it just depends because there are so many like offline tournaments that go on where like some are good, like, and then you got some that are really good, and then you just got some that are like God, why did I even decide to come to this event? This was ran so horribly. It's
Cause
like
I
the
be praying
servers
to
are bad.
I be
The
praying to
setups are bad.
God.
Ran bad. Like,
I be
oh my
praying to
god.
God, man. I be praying to God that what happened to JDCR at DreamHack will never happen to me in tournament any day in my life. Cause the day that I'm on a lead and then I just see home button or I
Yeah.
just see the home menu pop up
Right.
and I
And
just see
wow.
profile sign, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I would have a fit. I would have the biggest fit of
That's
all
happened a
known to
couple of
man.
times. That happened in Tekken 6, I think at Evo. It was like Evo Losers Finals or something. It was, yeah, it happens. It
Oh
happens.
no, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened to Ryan Hart. It was Ryan Hart and
Wow.
another
I
player
remember
that
that.
they played in a Tekken 5 DR. It was Evo.
Yeah.
It was Gandito, I think. Yeah, Ryan Hart versus Gandito. Evo Grand Finals of Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection.
Yeah.
Literal final round.
Yeah.
Ryan Hart was on the verge of winning, and then someone pressed the home button. I'm just like, who did that,
It's,
man? It
you
was
know,
such a good fight
it's
too.
and I think it's no one knows if they're still synced or if it's searching or whatever. It's just an accident, but that's crazy.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying too. It's like it depends on the tournament because like I feel like
Mhm.
all of them vary, but it's like if there's one thing that we can all come to an agreement on, this is like for all the majors that
Mhm.
happen for games like this. Why are these games not being ran on PC? Like these PC companies could be sponsoring these events for I don't understand why. I feel like there's no reason why we shouldn't have major events being ran on PC instead of PS5. It makes no sense.
Well, certainly
Yeah.
for Evo.
That would be nice too. If PC
Just
events
sponsor the
or
event. Like, come
yeah,
on.
just sponsor the event, and then all the games were played on PC, like they did at PAX West, I think, with the
Yeah,
10K
exactly. The
registration
PAX
open.
East, PAX
They
West.
PAX West, they all played on like open setups, like on PC, and I would appreciate that a whole lot. Like how they multi blood tournaments, they use PCs
Mhm.
to run the game on there, and a couple other games that they use to run on PC.
Yeah.
They need to do that for every game in general because it's more the input delay, just there's no delay at all. It's PC. It feels flexible. It feels great along with the monitors, along with the hertz, which just like excels the gameplay. So it's just like if we have more PCs at certain events to where it improves a whole lot of people's like gameplay and a whole lot of people's like outcomes, then so be it. I would definitely sign up for that for sure.
So the other side of that a little bit is it's either A, the TOs have to buy those PCs, they're expensive, right? B, you try to rent. So you go to a company that has all the equipment, and a lot of times it's PlayStations.
Hmm.
So when everybody was trying to figure out what is the next console to go with, I think they had some sort of a vote, and it
Mm.
was the PlayStation, because with Xbox, you could get it to run basically better, but you had to lower the graphic settings.
Mm.
So they said, you know what, Xbox is cheaper. They said we can get it to run more efficiently, but we have to lower all the graphics settings. Then the problem is people come in to compete. It looks like it's kind of blurry on the screen, and they're going, well, the screen's blurry, what's going on? And it's like, well, what do you do? So they went with the PlayStations. Um, so the companies, when you rent from them, it's mainly PlayStations. Then you have Evo, that's basically Sony, you know, because they have a huge chunk of Evo, so they're trying to promote a lot of that. But yeah, I think there have been some companies in the past. MSI came in, with their laptops and everything, and had a good showing. But yeah, I think if something like that would happen, we would need a lot more computer sponsorship, and then if they're able to, do some setups and everything, right? Yeah, that'd be pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
That's like the only other big deal because it's like every other big event you go to, majority of the TOs just like or like the people running the event or whoever they are, they a majority of the time they just have PS5 set up to where they're putting it on like the max graphic settings possible, and
Mhm.
it's like at that point, you're not even catering to the players that are going to the event to play. Like, we're being forced to play in a bad condition because the setups are now running not as like optimized as they should be. Because not only are you putting them on the max graphic settings to help support the people watching the event, but now you got the players having to play in that, which you're
Affects.
literally just not even. You're not even letting us being able to play at the best of our ability because we can't play with like 1 frame of input delay.
We're like, yeah, yeah.
And like people think like 2 or 3 input delay is bad. I feel like 1 input delay is worse. There's nothing worse than being like 1 frame short on anything when you play.
Yeah.
I'd rather be 2 or 3 frames late, honestly. That way I can at least know that way I can input earlier.
Ah, right, right. Yeah. So, how about some things you guys are looking forward to? How about goals, inspirations, anything like that? What's on the horizon here?
Uh, I just want to get better. First I need to get my passport, and I do want to tend to travel the world to where I also want to discover like different events at different like countries and stuff like that. And I do want to step my streaming up to where it'll be a viable platform to where people can find me and stuff like that. Not only Twitter, but Twitch as well. Twitch is going pretty well, but I wanted to like upscale and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically, yeah. I just want better from my streaming and my tournament progression, and to get a passport. That's basically it. That's just it.
Nah, yeah, same. I definitely want to after my performance recently, I'm definitely gonna start traveling to more events and definitely just want to keep putting my name out there and keep playing online and offline. I'm definitely because I didn't get to do the World Warriors this season because I was really busy with school and stuff. But next season I'm gonna start doing the World Warriors, even though I really hate how the system is online when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to like the points. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's eh. But and definitely want to start streaming more again because I was doing really good on streaming on Twitch for a while, and I kind of took a break, and then I'm kind of coming back slowly, and just continue to keep grinding. Pretty much it.
Um, I think same thing as well. Like, I already have my passport, so
Mm-hmm.
being able to travel more next year, I think EWT for 2025 is looking really bright for me, depending on how everything goes for that. Like, we still need to wait for the announcement, what the rules are going to be and whatnot, how
Mm-hmm.
everything is going to be run that year. So, waiting on the last DLC character too, so we're still
Yeah.
waiting on that. That's probably going to be announced after finals.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think other than that, working on like, Twitch and YouTube stuff, yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I think mainly just focusing on the 2025 TWT is going to be like my main
Mm-hmm.
thing. Depending on how that goes, maybe getting, a good sponsor to help out with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, it really does depend on what happens.
Yeah. Well, one thing we can all look forward to tonight, Tekken is having a patch tonight.
I
So we're
know.
gonna have to see. Yeah, they're saying Dragonoff and Elisa possibly greatly
Oh,
affected.
I hope.
That could really change the turnout of the Tekken World Tour in December.
It
It's a big
really
deal.
could.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, that's
Just
going
change
to
the
give
meta a little bit.
about a month and a week for everybody, that are playing those characters or realistically playing against those characters to try to modify and adapt to whatever the changes are going to be. And we'll know in what, about 5, 6, 7 hours? Yeah, yeah, when the patch is done. So that's going to be something. Um, yeah, I agree with you guys. There's a lot of good importance in, you know, competing with anything involving, points and everything, traveling to, all the different tournaments and everything. And, focusing on, and this is just in general with life. Sometimes if you take something and it's a huge obstacle, and if you try to take it all at once, it can be a massive pain. But if you take things by small little pieces, step by step, it's a lot easier to try to accomplish it and do it that way. So yeah, you can take something and that could be really monumental, and you break it down into little pieces, and then you can take it the whole way that way. So, is there anything you guys want to share before we head off?
For those who plan on trying to get into fighting games, believe in yourself and just know that there is going to be a path of success and a path of joy and wonder to where it depends how you take it. Mainly just focus on yourself. Just pray that better times will come whenever you do get to play. Just pray that you get good results. Just pray that you want the best for yourself. You want to get this W. You want to make things just happen accordingly, and you just got to put in the effort. As much as you want to put in the effort, you'll definitely get what you deserve.
For
Just
sure.
keep going, just keep going forward. Just keep doing what y'all do best, and the progress will come to you. The outcomes will come to you. The results will come to you, and you will be feeling satisfied no matter what. So just keep going forward. Don't feel down and out no matter what. Just know that you'll always have support by you, and you'll always be on your P's and Q's, no matter the occasion, no matter the weather. Just be you, and you'll get to where you need to get to. That's it.
For sure, I agree.
I think for me, I wouldn't get like too flustered when it comes to everything that happens in, competition, because at the end of the day, it's competition. So it's never gonna be easy. And when it all comes down to it, experience is really the key. Like, I think for me, I've wanted something that happened at Versus for years and years, but it took, I could get that. So it took time, trust. Like, that's honestly just from experience.
Yeah.
You just bide your time and wait for the, time to strike. That's all I got.
Matt, want to add to anything there?
Um, I don't really know got anything. I pretty much agree with what they both said. To be honest, just keep striving on what you want to do, and that just goes for anything in life. And when you're trying to get into fighting games, just like I said, just like he said, pray just to get good results and just put in that effort. And the effort you put in, it'll show over time, and you'll get the result that you want. And also just have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, have fun with it. That's very important.
Have fun. Yep, indeed.
Well, that's a lot of very good words of advice from everybody here. Of course, yeah, having a fun time and take it one step at a time, do the best that you can. Sounds like some great words of advice. So we are going to head out here, and I am Cujo Kate, and we are here with Young Matt Teen, Majin, and King Ray. We're going to be heading on out. Hope you guys had a great time, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.
Deuces.